developed as an alternative supplement of water, of which originally was created for football players who showed a performance decrease as their game progressed. Having played high school sports, I've encountered firsthand on what effects mentally and physically drinking Gatorade does to you performance-wise. Since then, sports everywhere have been using Gatorade as their sport drink of choice throughout the game and practices they experience. Currently, Gatorade endorses 29 athletes, of which some of them you may know. For football in the NFL, there's Peyton and Eli Manning, who are both sponsored by Gatorade. There's Cam Newton, and for basketball, of course, Michael Jordan. Then there's Dwight Howard and Dwayne Wade. For baseball, Derek Jeter, who plays for the Yankees. And tennis, Serena Williams. Soccer, the female Hope Solo. And track and field, Usain Bolt. Since 1965, there have been minimal changes with the formula of Gatorade, besides adding different flavors and improving upon types of marketing items to sell. I'll be speaking about two main points. The first point being how Gatorade was developed by the University of Florida and the reasons why it was developed. My second point will cover modern day usage with the product and different types of products by Gatorade. 1965, assistant Gator football coach Dwayne Douglas went to the University of Florida kidney disease specialist Robert Cade. The coach asked Cade why his players lost so much weight during practices and games, but urinated very little. His theory was primarily the loss of potassium and sodium that a player loses during sweat. To test their hypothesis, Cade and his research colleagues began collecting samples throughout the practice and game situations of 10 freshman football players from the University of Florida. The results showed that the electrolytes were completely out of balance, their blood sugar was low, and their blood volume was also low. The solution was to give them water, but not just water alone. Water with salt in it to replace the salt they were losing during sweat. Also, to give them sugar and to keep their blood sugar up, but not so much sugar that would upset their stomachs and potentially worsen their playing throughout the game. After they created this batch of what they assumed was the best possible batch, none of the scientists could actually keep it in. It tasted horrible, and Cade's wife, the researcher, suggested adding lemon juice to it. The drink would soon later be known as Gatorade. The following year, the 1966 season, it was now called Gatorade, and it was used on the Gator sidelines during games. During the preseason, their first scrimmage, without Gatorade, I might add, 7 players were brought to the emergency room with heat-related illnesses. Then the next day, 8 were admitted to the hospital with the same related illnesses. The coach talked to the researcher, Cade, and scheduled enough Gatorade to be on the practice as well as scrimmage and game situations. This being done, that over the next 5 years, there had only been 1 player hospitalized for heat-related illnesses. And it turns out he had not drank any Gatorade. Now moving on to the second point. The modern day usage of Gatorade includes more than 50 flavors internationally and 30 flavors available in the US. They've also developed a low-calorie drink that has half the calories and half the sugars, resulting in more of a water substitute without the actual performance being in an in-game situation. They've also developed this marketing scheme called G Series. G Series is a system of 3 different types of products to help you in the best game scenario. The first one, Gatorade Prime, is a pre-game fuel, and it's simply just a chewable tablet that helps you with boosting your sugar intake to provide you for performance increase. Then for Form 2, the Gatorade Thirst Quencher, the original Gatorade, and then to help balance that out, they also made G2, which is the lower version that I was talking about earlier. Then the final one, Gatorade Recover, is a post-workout with additional protein, more like a protein shake. Gatorade formula has changed very little over the years, says Dr. Murray, the science specialist for Gatorade. And this is remarkable to Gatorade because it's the most researched sport drink on the planet, and it's hardly ever been changed. I hope you now know how Gatorade was developed and why it is important to the sports industry and the active lifestyles of everyday people. Gatorade was developed as an alternative supplement to water, to which originally was created for football players who showed performance decrease during the game. Since 1965, there have been minimal changes with the formula of Gatorade, besides adding different flavors and improving the types of marketing schemes to sell. With the rise of competition in today's sports, Gatorade helps athletes perform at their highest level of competition and provide key nutritional assets that are balancing out the nutritional value. Even the average human that exercises can be seen drinking a Gatorade after they hit the gym or go running for the relief and recovery that comes from drinking a Gatorade. Now it's in you, as well as more than 70 Division I colleges. Thanks for listening to my speech.
Yeah. 7 minutes and 28 seconds.
What about Twitch? Are you going to say